You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday morning at the Arizona Electric Festival. I'm Michael from Arizona. With me always are my good friends.
Jay from the hills of Texas.
And AK Mike in Texas.
And we're sitting here
sipping on coffee.
Beautiful morning here in Arizona.
Slight chill in the air, but the rest of the country's freezing.
And Mike's still in his shorts.
Yeah, I know, yeah, dude.
It's Arizona, man. I don't even think, actually, honestly, I think I had something for work, where I had to go for like a couple weeks. And I realized that all I have in my bag is shorts and t-shirt, other than my uniform stuff. And I told my wife, I was like, man, I got to go buy some pants. Well, it was kind of like in the middle of summer, so we don't sell pants here.
Yeah.
I had to go to like 3 different stores.
You got to order them out from out of state from Amazon.
Everybody wears shorts. Man, I didn't even have shoes. I had flip-flops in my bag, and I wound up going to someplace cold, and that kind of bit me. I was like, holy smokes, man, I got to get some pants. So, yeah, I actually do own some pants, but I do know that by this afternoon it's going to be a little warmer, hopefully.
I like that.
That was good.
Well, this morning we got a pilot meeting coming up. We've got some new vendors on. I think we've got the Zap Glue House of Balsa.
Paul.
Yeah, Paul. We got Paul coming
vendor.
in. And then we got, let's see, I think we got Eric with 3D Aero Ventures.
3D Aero. Wow.
I know, you guys.
I don't have coffee yet, so that's it.
Yeah, Mike. He's tired. We got, let's see, our airplane flight line is getting bigger already. People are rolling in as we're talking, and we're excited. So, although there is a little bit of a forecast for rain. So
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
maybe this afternoon or maybe this evening. So I don't know about the night flight for tonight, but we'll get there.
Yeah, let's hope so.
And I think we're looking at some people that are looking at our airplanes. So how about we head over to the pilot meeting and we'll get started.
Okay.
For this morning.
Sounds great.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to the Park Flyer Podcast. We've got Doug Allen with us. Doug, welcome to the show.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
we understand you have a unique skill.
A unique skill.
Well, I don't know if it's unique. It might be unique out here.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do is I build stick and tissue airplanes that were designed for free flight, and
Perfect.
I convert them to RC using the small bricks that come in the UMX models that E-Flights puts out. So I just buy the bricks, the little bricks, and they come with a receiver and 2 servos, speed controller, and then you buy the motor and you put those in there. So I had one out here earlier today when it was calm. And, it was actually built by Her Engineering.
Okay.
HERR, and it was a Fokker D7 24-inch biplane.
Oh, wow.
Covered in tissue paper, built up with sticks. It was a really nice kit. It had laser cut parts.
Yeah.
Went together really good. And I've been building stick and tissue airplanes since I was 12 years old, and I won't tell you how long that was.
I know the answer to that, though.
And you'll know how old I am. But
Well, we won't tell.
yeah, a long time ago. So I get they're just so much fun to build something and do that.
Yeah, we enjoy building stuff too, but most of my building are almost ready to fly. So the stick and tissue stuff, I've never really got into.
Yeah.
But.
I've done a few, but not tissue, but I've done stick and
So how
monocle.
does the tissue part stay? I mean, you just glue it on? Because, that's some pretty lightweight stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of different methods. Some guys use easy dope or white glue, thinned half and half. I use glue stick, just the kind of stuff that kids
Good
use
idea.
in school.
Oh, yeah.
So you put glue stick around the edge, and you put the tissue paper on dry, and you just get it as tight as you can dry with the tissue paper around glue stick around the edge. And I usually go around twice to make sure I get enough glue stick on there.
That makes sense.
And then you just pat it down, and, within 20, 30 seconds, it's stuck.
Huh.
And then you can just spray it real lightly with water. If you spray it too much, it'll loosen the glue stick and the tissue will come off. But if you just give it a light mist, it'll shrink it up real nice.
So tissue paper shrinks with the water?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, see, that's new.
Is that the way it's supposed to work?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like some different technique or if that's the way it's like designed to work.
Yeah, it's supposed to work. And there's some guys that put the tissue paper on wet. They'll spray it first and then put the dope or the glue stick, whatever, around the edge, and then put the tissue paper on wet.
But you wouldn't get as tight, I wouldn't imagine sometimes, unless you're good at it, I guess.
Well, if you put it on wet, it's going to get real tight.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's going to get real tight because it shrinks probably 20 to 30%.
Wow. Really? Wow.
That is amazing.
So that sounds like if you're doing that, especially with lightweight balsa, then don't you have a chance to warp your wing or warp your fuselage or warp something?
Yes. Warping is a big problem with some of these airplanes. So like in the Fokker D7 that I built, I put 16th-inch cross braces in the wing, in both upper and lower wing. And then when I put the tissue paper on it, you just really light mist, just enough to get it damp. And it'll shrink up without warping the wing.
So too wet and it's going to warp. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, and too wet, it'll loosen the glue underneath
too. Right.
And it comes off. So. And then once all that's
John, we got a
stuck,
full size coming across the field, so keep her down.
We got helicopters.
We got helicopter going, a full-scale guy
size.
taking a look. He's like banking his airplane like, hey, look down there. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so if you get it too wet, then it goes through the tissue paper and moistens the glue underneath, and then it comes off.
Right. Well, because Elmer's glue is water-soluble anyway, right?
Right.
So, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. And then once it's shrunk up, then you just take either a really good sharp X-Acto knife or tissue paper or sandpaper and just sand off the edge.
Oh, right.
Sand it off. And then I use the old-fashioned dope, butyrate or nitrate dope that you can get.
Oh.
Just give it one coat of dope. You don't need a lot because there's no fuel involved. Just enough to
shine it up a bit.
Yeah. It'll tighten it up a little bit, but you do that so the tissue paper lasts a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine that, like, if you have any, not that you have a problem here in Arizona, but any humidity in the air would affect the just plain tissue paper.
Absolutely.
So if it was nice and tight on Wednesday, it rained on Friday,
Now it's loosey-goosey.
Well, yeah, it would definitely get looser, tighter,
Right.
Because it would be
without the dope.
Yeah, without the dope.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That sounds interesting.
So that's almost like a covering for it, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. That makes more sense.
Well, just like in a full-size airplane, if they cover it with a fabric or whatever, they put varnish or
they do.
Paint.
They
Paint
put
on it.
What size battery do you typically use in that?
Either one cell, the little one cell, they call them chiclet batteries, or one cell 180 milliamps.
The 180. So the little quad ones that we use, the little helicopter ones.
Yeah.
Or some of them will use the 2-cell 200s.
Oh
wow.
Okay.
Those are tiny.
That's about weight management, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm assuming it wouldn't take a 6-cell, right?
Well,
never get off the ground with a 6-cell battery.
Well, I guess he could if he lined them out and then strung them, and then put them in series, throughout the whole aircraft.
Maybe
I'm imagining that may work. That would be the only way you'd be able to.
6-cell 180.
Yeah,
that's funny, Mike.
Well, you never know.
Mike believes in power. Yeah, Mike believes in power.
So, now what kind of motor is it powering? Just the same one that's in the UMX?
Yeah, so the UMXs are sized for the motor and the ESC that's on the board.
Right.
And typically they're a Park Flyer
There you go.
180 or a Park Flyer 250.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That would
that'd be like the GB has the 250, I think, and the what's that bigger plane, Jay, that we were flying?
The Trojan?
No, the bigger plane, the one that has like two wings, two.
The little pits?
Yeah, pits.
That's it.
Yeah. So I just I look at what my airplane's going to weigh, and then I get a UMX that's about the same weight, and I just order those replacement parts.
Oh yeah,
and put them in.
Nice. Huh. That's a good idea.
So then it's pretty much a bind and fly, ready to go.
Yeah,
once it's
absolutely.
done,
Yeah.
I like it. I think I might try this.
Well, it's interesting. Now, do you build the models from scratch, or they're already?
They're kits.
They're kits.
They come in kits. Yeah.
He just said that. I remember now.
Yeah.
Well, he said
you thought you were old.
Easy.
Yeah. In fact, if you go on like eBay or you go, and you just put in there like free flight models, those things will come up, and
because originally they're rubber band, right?
Is that
the free flight? They have a propeller and you rubber band it, and then you just throw it and it goes around.
Yeah.
So they are. I guess in my mind, I'm thinking UMX size, but it's not. It's actually smaller than that, right?
So you could actually have ailerons too, then.
I typically don't, just because it adds so much weight.
Yeah.
And
now you have to have servos to drive that.
Well, I mean that Trojan has ailerons.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so you could. I mean, if you don't make it too much heavier, but I get your point, right? Because you got to spend the money for the extra parts too, right?
The servos are 1.6 gram. Servos is what they are.
That seems pretty heavy.
Yep. Well, that's what they are.
How much does it weigh overall when you're done?
So the airplane that I flew this morning was 105 grams.
What? You didn't fly it in this wind.
No, it was calmer.
Remember, it was calmer.
There was no wind before.
There was no wind this morning.
That was a big thing that he said earlier when there was no wind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when
he said that too. Huh?
Yes, he did.
If he says tissue paper gaggle, there's like nobody going to show up for that.
The tissue paper gaggle.
Oh,
that'd be great.
No one's going to be there. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we'll drive you in the truck to go pick up your planes downwind.
Well, actually, I always tell these guys a pretty funny story that when I was with the Total Electric Club, we had older guys that would build frogs, I guess is what they call them, and they're tissue paper airplanes as well. And they're kind of cool looking, but they just float around, and their power system is very small. They weigh hardly anything. They're made out of tissue paper. And we had a guy at the club that would fly sitting in a chair. He was an older guy, and I was a club instructor, and so I looked over and he was sleeping. And so I walked over and I poked him. I said, "Sir, are you okay?" And he said, "Yeah." And I go, "Are you flying, or other people would like to use the station? If you're just napping, that's fine. If you're observing." And he goes, "No, I'm fine." And he looks up and he goes, well, it's lost." And I was like, whoa. Wait a second. You can't just let your airplane flying around. We had no idea. Everybody was looking for it. We couldn't see it. And it had gotten up so high that it was just a speck, because they're small airplanes to begin with. So I took his radio and put it into a spin, and just eventually we caught it. It was coming down like a leaf, Yeah. And so finally I found it, it was kind of falling. I'm like, hey, there it is. And so we kind of got it back, landed it, and he got in his truck and left. I was like, wow, that was pretty impressive. But but that's about the only tissue paper example I've had.
You were building one at my house.
Oh, that's right. I was building. We actually did a podcast on that, didn't we? Wow. I need to go get some more coffee.
Yeah, right? I think so, man.
It's still early.
That's what happens when you get over 50.
So, Doug, what's your favorite plane to fly? I mean, do you like those the best, or do you have other planes that you prefer?
Boy, that's a tough one. The favorite plane that I like to fly is the one I'm flying at the moment.
Yeah.
Dump.
That's always good.
I will tell you that the little airplanes, every time I fly them, when I land, I just have the biggest smile on my face. It's like, that is just so cool.
Yeah. I can see that, because it's,
The Pitts is a lot of fun.
Those UMXs are a lot of fun.
They're a ton of fun.
They're just great fun. And I can imagine something even smaller than that.
Yeah.
Just be like a riot. Now, do you fly them in the house, or you actually fly them?
My wife won't let me.
Just like
Time to find a new wife.
Just like a wife. She lets him come here. So let's not go too far.
I got a good one. I want to.
Oh yeah, don't have time for a new wife.
Well, what is it? Was it that guy used to say that the woman who lets me stay here? Well, it was some show or whatever. He'd always refer to his wife that way.
As the woman
who lets me sleep next to her, or whatever that is.
That was funny. Well, that's kind of exciting. If someone wanted you to do that, how do they contact you?
All of my builds that I've done is on RC Groups.
Okay.
And if you go to just search on Gillo RC Conversions, and you'll find a list of all the Gillo kits that are out there. And there's a whole bunch of guys that have blazed this trail before I did.
Okay.
And you can look at their build threads because what I'll do is take pictures of what I'm building and then post it on RC Groups.
Now, do you put complete kits together and sell them?
I do not sell them, no.
Okay.
So they just buy the kit, and then you would do the conversion part of it.
No, they buy the kits and do their
own
own
conversion.
And read his
stuff about how to do it.
Or maybe contact him via email and go, hey, I'm having a problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of that help.
Okay.
Help going on.
Well, that makes a whole lot more sense now.
So my my handle or my ID on RC Groups is Easy Flyer.
Easy.
Oh, actually, I've seen some of your posts.
The letter EZ.
Yeah.
And then Flyer.
I've seen some of your posts for other stuff, not for those, but I know I recognize your handle there.
So
great.
Yeah, so I'm Easy Flyer on RC.
What I like about these, of course, is we're the Park Flyer podcast, and these fit within that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I really especially like it for folks like when we lived in Alaska. Jay and I both lived in Alaska, and we would fly indoors at the gymnasiums, and those kind of planes are beautiful for that sort of thing.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I've flown indoors a couple of times.
Yeah, it's great,
and it is so much fun.
Yeah, it is. It's
the hardest part is getting your airplane out of the basketball net.
Yeah, it is. They're supposed to put them up, but they don't always.
No, I mean, it was mine. I had a propeller, and I hovered it, and it just got caught, and now it's just hanging there, and I'm not 10 feet tall. And it's not like they have ladders laying around the gymnasium.
That's right.
I had to go find one. So, But everybody thought it was cool, and they laughed.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's a good time.
It was great.
Well, great.
But,
I really, that was cool. Thanks for sharing that
cool.
story with us.
Yeah, we'll have to get some photos. You brought one, right? You were flying earlier.
Oh, yeah, you can get some photos if you like.
That'd be great.
It's in the car right now because it
said
was
that earlier.
blown
around
the
table.
It is a little windy.
And you don't really want to put a rock on something like that.
To hold it down.
Maybe I'll design some tie downs. They're like
we can do some 3D printed tie downs.
3D printed tie downs. That's pretty funny. Well, Doug, we hope you enjoy it. We are so happy that you joined us on the Park Flyer podcast.
You're very welcome.
We love to have new people come on and give us a shout, and we'll tell everybody to head your direction on RC Groups and look for those little models.
Yeah,
be kind of cool.
Yeah, cool.
And you got another subscriber now. Too.
Yeah,
there you go. Hey.
We talked about it.
Our subscription just doubled.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, well, we do it for the love of it, not for the money.
that's for sure. We're rolling in podcast money.
Right?
Woohoo!
The good news is we get a raise every year.
Every year. You get a car, and you get a car.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll let you get back out to the line. So we'll be right back.
Hey, everybody, we're back. I've been walking around the flight line and talking to different people, and I ran to Scott Meyer. Scott Meyer, this is your first time here, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
perfect.
Right.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you've been flying for a little while?
For a little while, 20 years.
20 years, okay.
Not just a mere 20 years.
I know, right?
Including today?
He looks 22, so...
22 and 33 minutes. So are you from here in Arizona?
I am not. We just moved here.
Oh, okay.
A couple months ago.
You've been flying for 20 years. Where in the country have you been?
Mostly in Northern California.
Okay. Well,
we won't hold that against you.
Nope.
That's fine.
Thank you.
They finally let you out of there. We understand.
Really? Work release program.
No, we're in Northern California.
Lived up in Feather Falls, by the backside of Lake Orville.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Perfect.
I spent some time in Grass Valley.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
It's a nice area. Yep.
So it's a little chilly today, but what do you think so far?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So many airplanes in one place.
It is kind of
nice to see.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of weird, huh? Actually, believe it or not, this because of COVID,
this is a light year.
Little light
this
year.
Is light.
I mean, it's good because Shannon told me I think they, as of this morning, they had about 43 pilots registered. Yeah. So that's a very, very good. I think in the years past we've had up to 90. Yeah, so
nice.
And the wind is a little breezy today, and or normally this would just be a night, just like a big, huge wall of airplanes up there. But so, what did you bring to fly?
I brought most of the Luftwaffe with me.
The Luftwaffe.
Most of the Luftwaffe. The Germans are looking for their planes because you stole them and brought them here.
Yes. we had a 110. There's a Durafly 109, a Free Wing Lipsitch P15.
Oh, very nice.
It was a Dynam 110.
Was. Emphasis on the was. Is that the one you just flew?
Yeah.
What happened? The motor fell off? Oh, okay. Well, we saw it take off and then pancake over there. I was like, what happened? Mike said, I think the motor fell off.
But it looks like a few minutes of glue and you're good to go from what I could see, but I didn't look at it hard.
Possible.
Yeah.
We'll see. That plane's been a thorn in my side.
Yeah?
So,
really?
I don't know if I want to continue with it. But
all right.
Maybe. Doesn't look horrible.
Well,
so there's a combat fly later. If you can get it back together, you can really make use of it.
I do have glue.
You do? There you go.
If you don't have some, I do. So, and if I don't have them, the Zap guy has them. So.
That's right.
That is not a bad idea.
Yeah. If that's how you're feeling about it, you might as well make use of it.
Well, and if you don't want to do that, there's probably plenty of people here that would be interested. We've sold several airplanes here as well, and unfortunately, I don't see. Uh-oh.
Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah. Barrett's having a rough day today. He's crashed about 3 of them so far. But there's not as many airplanes for sale. Normally, there's a whole bunch of airplanes for sale out here, and people do swap them out. So if you wanted to unload it, you could probably slap a sticker on it, and somebody would probably look at it. So, well, let's see. That was pretty much all your entire fleet that you brought, or did you bring
I do have
else?
a free wing Yak 130, which is a very nice plane to fly.
I think I was kind of came up behind you yesterday when you were flying it without any nose gear.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one. We got that fixed.
Oh, good. What was the problem?
Had a little bit of a rough landing, so the gear was a little tweaked, and when it locked down, it kind of jammed it a little bit. So.
Okay, right.
Got it all straightened out, and it's working good.
Well, we tried everything: inverted flight, upside down. We, pulled the G's, and nothing came out. So, but he did. Oh, there was another one that just went down. Today's a rough day. We've already had several airplanes go in, and another one just kind of. He had the same problem. His nose gear didn't come down, so. Scott, you didn't get hardly any damage on that either. There was stiff enough wind that it kind of stayed level, right?
Yeah, it kept the nose up pretty good. A little bit of scrape on the nose, but overall, it was in good shape.
Well, let's see. You've been flying for 20 years. What brought you into the hobby? How'd you get into it?
Love airplanes.
Yeah?
I love flying. Always wanted to fly, but as a diabetic, it's kind of...
That's a little difficult.
It's a little difficult for me, so I picked up flying these.
Yeah?
It's been great.
Doing it ever since, huh?
Yeah.
Now, do you have a club that you're with? Where you live, or you?
This one.
Okay.
It's the Arizona Club.
Okay. Because you just moved here, so before.
What's that?
I said if he just moved here, this would be his club before, right?
Well, I mean, he lives around here, but I didn't know exactly where he lived, so I didn't know if he had was it another club
a big state. I think.
Or it is.
Not as big as Texas, but
I live just over in Gilbert. So
gotcha.
I'm not too far.
So there's also one over there in the Gilbert area too, if I'm not mistaken.
No, not one in Gilbert. It's out further, like in Ironwood, kind of.
Oh yeah, Ironwood. That's right.
Yeah.
There's a couple little park fly ones around here too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that was my next question.
Just won't work.
Yeah, do you fly in the park at all?
I do.
What do you fly there?
The Twin Otter. I'll
Okay.
fly at the park. I've flown the Jet, the Yak there, and the Lippich P-15, but they're so fast and there's kids everywhere. And
Right.
when I landed, I went, no,
No.
we're going to the field.
Yeah, that's
I don't
fair.
want to hurt anybody.
That's fair.
There's
that's
nothing
good.
wrong with that.
Safety first.
That's
Third.
it.
I can't
Is that
remember.
right?
third.
Or third, yeah. Safety
Fun first,
or second.
safety third. That's been my motto.
they all started running out, and that's
Oh,
when I was
no,
like,
yeah, well, that's
Yes.
right. Let's
Back,
go
you
see the
little
plane.
heathens, get back. That's all I
I'll
do.
catch it. Yeah. Yes,
That
you
is
will.
troublesome. I fly at a little park too, and sometimes the kids are out there. They'll chase it, or they think it's cool, and I fly a couple of jets in the park too. But my park is fairly large size, so I can actually
Except
get
for
it
the
in.
dog walkers. They're all
The dog walkers, man, they are always out there in the middle of the field with their dogs. However, a couple of buzzing the dogs will go crazy. They get angry and then they leave. So it just
Oh, come on.
kind of a vicious cycle.
That's not true.
Mine likes to chase them. He loves to chase airplanes on landings.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Does he catch them?
No, he did get clipped by a trainer once on takeoff in the
Okay,
butt.
okay.
It got him, but it didn't crash. It kept going. Everything was
That's good.
all right, but
Well,
he
there you
didn't
go.
learn.
And everybody learned. Yeah, everybody learned a lesson.
Everybody but the dog, he still chases them. That's funny. Well, we're looking forward to you coming out again. This is our sixth or seventh year of doing it, and it is an awesome place to be with all these airplanes, and we're glad you're in Arizona. So
Me too.
come on out.
Good to have you.
There are about 4 or 5 RC clubs here in the valley, and you can ask around, but all of them are great places to fly. And Superstition Springs here or the what is the name of this? Superstition Field?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, Superstition Field is a great place. I love coming and flying here. It's really nice.
I love their giant runway.
Yeah.
It gives me a lot of room. I'm not the greatest of landers, so
it
gives me a little bit of leeway.
So what do you do for work?
Mechanic, auto mechanic.
Okay.
So this is kind of in your wheelhouse, fixing all this stuff, right? Yeah, it's not that much different. You got an awesome set of tools, and you can fix all this stuff.
I do.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, did you get yourself in the raffle for the Pawnee over here? Or?
I did, and I entered my wife too. She's like, maybe I'll fly, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. We actually have a couple of guys at the club that I fly at that their wives are learning to fly, so that's kind of cool that they're doing.
Now, were you out here last night?
Yes.
Okay, so you were night flying with us.
No, I did. I was out all day yesterday. I left around 3, 4
Okay.
in the afternoon.
I'm looking for the guy who was.
It was hard. Yeah, there was a guy. We were out night flying, and all of a sudden we heard this other voice, and another airplane was in the air. And we're like, "Where did that guy come from?" And so we didn't see him because it was dark and he's wearing a mask. But I'm all like, it was Batman, something like that. But. Well, what type of flying do you like to do? Because I know there's like the EDFs and just the slow flies, and that is there some specific thing that you like, or?
I've always flown stunt planes or warbirds, usually with nitro. The electric's new to me, but I decided not to be hard-headed with it since there's just a ton of airplanes to fly. Why limit it? So I'm really liking the electric jets. They seem to handle pretty well.
Yeah,
they're quite fun.
Yeah, they're quite fun.
I'm all over the place. I'll fly anything.
Right?
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Well, then you should try these tissue paper planes.
I know,
talk
right?
to a guy who makes planes, stick planes, basically with tissue paper, and he builds them, and he uses the UMX motors and servos and stuff to convert them from a free flight plane to a RC plane.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah, right?
You fly them in your front yard.
Yeah, it is.
Right in your front yard, yeah.
Or
your nearby park.
Or your house if you have a wife that'll allow it.
Yeah.
If your wife allows you to fly in your house, then you're good to go.
You're good.
So you mentioned that your wife was here, and she's pretty supportive of your hobby, and she kind of likes to hang out, and that's very good because our wives just look at us and say, "Y'all boys have fun."
See, y'all have a good time.
Y'all have a good time. We're gonna go to Vegas. Yeah. So anyway, that's
Fun
what
too.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, no doubt. So I don't get to go to Vegas. She does. I get to come out here and hang out with these guys. So, well, we'd love for you to, to join our listener group, and we're on Facebook. So if you, want to jump on there, we talk about every 2 weeks or so. We come out with a podcast, and we love having new people join us. And the fact that you're here at the Arizona Electric Festival, and this is your new, your first year, we are excited. So it's always exciting to see new people show up to this event.
It's exciting to be here. Hopefully meet some new friends.
Oh, you will.
Oh, yeah.
See
absolutely.
some airplanes.
No question.
That's the one thing about coming here is that you'll start seeing the same guys, and then you just kind of get this camaraderie going on. So we're always welcoming new people to the fold. So we're happy you're here. So we'll turn you loose and let you go back to the flight line. But man, thank you for stopping by and talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be right back. Well, we're back with the Park Flyer podcast. We just finished the noon demo. It was awesome. And while the noon demo was kind of winding down, we snagged one of our sponsors from 3D Aero Ventures.
3D Aero Ventures!
Eric Haddad is with us. Welcome to the podcast, Eric.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I love the jingle.
Yeah. well, I just want to let people know that he didn't commission us to do that. We did it on our own, so
that's true.
He shouldn't be criticized for the jingle.
No, that's what I was going to say. Like, that was unpaid. I actually paid you. Imagine how well it would be.
Yeah.
I want my money back.
Even though I didn't pay you anything, I want my money back.
That's right.
You should be paying me.
People, we're going to have to talk about this jingle. I don't know. I really feel like I'm getting my money's worth with this thing.
That's right. My business has gone
certainly
down.
is now. Yeah.
Right.
Every time it plays, I'm losing people.
People
Please
call up and
stop.
say, "I'm not buying from you, dude. That jingle stinks."
That's funny. Well, welcome to Arizona. I know this is your first Arizona Electric Festival.
Yeah, first one. Went to college in this area, though, so I really always loved Phoenix. And been wanting to come back. So.
I like that he's pilot number 2.
Yes, he is pilot number 2.
I was so excited. I was the second one to sign up.
There you go.
That's awesome.
That's it. He was it's just raring to go.
Yeah.
And I think actually he was only beat out by
Yeah, the president of
the president of the club, because he had to he was the guinea pig, he said, to make sure.
Yeah.
So, Shannon Gallagher is pilot number 1. So, congratulations there.
Thanks, buddy. Used to coming runner-up, so.
Well, you're no runner-up in our book.
That's right.
All right, so let's see. You brought some stuff out. What'd you bring?
Yeah, so I brought the first plane that kind of launched 3D Aero Ventures, the X100 Infinity. I call it the Infinity Wing, joined wing design.
That's awesome.
But I've upgraded it now with landing gear and rudder control, and so I did a little demo flight about 30 minutes ago, and
yes, he did
decent, even though there's a 20-mile-per-hour crosswind.
And talk about getting confidence out of that, because after you see somebody flying in such, because it looks very delicate, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't a gentle landing.
No, it was not. It wasn't gentle.
It's to see it hold up in this, and that's definitely.
And you made it look easy. So,
thanks, man.
Well, he's a good pilot.
So, it's a fun.
It dropped its pants a little bit.
Yeah, I lost a pant leg.
Yeah, I did lose his pants.
Yeah.
It was okay,
I got
though.
Metaphorically pantsed by the wind.
But it was a nice landing. It was a nice flight. I love the way the profile is when you roll at 90 degrees and pull. And I was telling Jay last night, when we saw you yesterday and you did a demo kind of warm-up flight. And I told him, I said, it's amazing to me when it turns around, you almost lose the center fuselage portion.
Yeah.
You're so focused on this really diamond-shaped wing. And I told him, I was like, it was really weird because in the sunset when you flew it late and you made that turn, and I'm like, all I could see was this diamond coming around.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, man, that would really be confusing because it looked like it was going that way, and then it just came back. And I know you did a big turn, but because those wings just kind of flipped around, you never really saw that change. And
it definitely was a different perspective
for profile.
Sure. Yeah, Jay and I were talking about there's some cool stuff you could probably do with the paint scheme too
we were
highlight that effect or just make visibility.
Yeah, after we had dinner with Eric last night, and he after he left, Jay kept me up talking about all the paint schemes. So I'm familiar with some of the strobing and the paint, and we kind of hashed that out last night.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. That's it. I'm out.
Well, I like the camouflage feature because it actually clouded up last night.
That's
plane,
true.
He just repainted the plane white, or just an off-white, which was perfect for the background. So
the white cloud in the background.
Yeah. The plane flies silently with the 4-blade prop, and that with, of course, as you're flying upwind and into the clouded area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's gone.
There it is. There it's not.
Yeah, it has a pretty thin profile when it's coming at you.
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah. It did this very. Now, tell us why you went with a 4-bladed prop for this one.
Mostly out of vanity because it looks cool.
It does look cool.
There's nothing wrong with vanity.
Yeah, I was going to say,
but I wanted a little extra ground clearance too. Just
that's right, because you had the wheels.
Now I have the landing
wheels on it.
Right, so that's new to this model, though. Right?
Yeah. So I sell like a separate upgrade. It's like a $10 upgrade,
right?
And it's a whole new fuselage design that just plugs into the wings.
Very nice.
So you could theoretically buy the regular kit, have a belly landing version with a folding prop, and then just swap out have 2 fuselages, and you could swap it out if you want.
I think I'd go with the wheels myself.
Yeah, it looks really good with the wheels.
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah.
It does look.
It makes it more fun, honestly, with the rudder controls.
Yeah.
But anybody who if you buy the belly landing version now, it comes with a trolley that stays on the ground. You want to take off the pavement. So
that's
a cool little trolley.
Yeah, the ME-163 does that.
Yeah. Has a little trolley.
Yeah.
Is it magnetized where it drops off, or
it's not magnetized? That would be cool. That's a good idea.
That's the way his was.
Yeah,
you hit a switch and it went.
You can turn the magnet off.
Yeah, it's a servo just rotated.
Yeah, rotate the
magnet.
It would fall off.
That's slick.
Yeah, it's slick.
Yeah.
As long as it didn't rotate off while you were still in your takeoff roll, you were okay.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty good because once it got takeoff, when it was rolling out, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
The bigger issue was letting it go in the wrong spot.
Yeah, because you had to go
find the wheels.
Right.
Yeah.
And it held up till you tried to let it go right after you lift it off.
Oh no! You usually come around one time and then drop it on the runway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it had those earth magnets.
Yeah, they were pretty strong.
Those were pretty strong.
Yeah.
And while you rotated around, but it was actually the servo was probably the better part of it because I actually have a servo like that when I had my Hawker Hurricane.
Oh yeah,
and it had the same thing because it had drop tanks and it would drop the drop tanks.
Cool.
And it was a really cool design because it's the servo that actually goes around.
Yeah.
And if I think about it, I'll send you one. Because I
cool.
have it. I salvaged it, but I really don't have any use for it at the moment. So
that's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. So we went by your booth. You actually have a booth set up here.
Yeah, I brought a bunch of planes. So other than the Infinity Wing, I brought a couple Super Chipmunks. It's a pretty good-sized plane for a 3D printed aircraft.
Yeah, that's a park flyer, which is what I like about it.
The what?
That little chipmunk?
No, the big.
Those are chipmunks. What's that? What are those little guys? I like those.
I call that a sport cam.
Sport cam. I like that. That's one I like.
Yeah, a little tiny guy.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
It's okay.
I don't know my planes very well.
Of those too. I'm actually giving one of those little sport cams away.
Yep, we heard about that this morning at the pilot meeting. The guy was telling everybody, when you get that, come see me.
Yeah. Because I want it.
I want it.
That's cool.
He had his checkbook out.
Yeah, they're cool little planes.
And then when I was over there, I saw the two chipmunks. You brought two. And what's the difference between the two?
It's basically the same design, but one of them's printed in a standard PLA, which is considered a heavy plastic, but it's light enough to fly well. And then the other one is I did it in a Pepsi color scheme just to kind of show the different materials.
Right.
And that one's printed in a foaming plastic called LWPLA.
Okay.
I think we talked about this last time I was on the show, but it foams as it prints, so it's like 40% the density of standard plastic. So
lightweight too.
There's like a 1,200 gram or 3 pound difference between the two aircraft.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, and I've actually redesigned, like totally changed the way I design these airframes, is like structurally. So they now, the best way I can explain it is the skin simulates kind of like a corrugated plastic. Remember those corrugated plastic airplanes?
Yeah. Corplast, yeah.
Yeah, without seeing those weird bend lines.
Right.
But so it's basically a really, really thin shell that has a honeycomb structure on the inside. That's what the skin is made out of now. So
that is kind of
even if you print it in this LWPLA stuff,
right,
it's really strong and lightweight. So,
huh.
Yeah.
I like how smooth it is too. It just, I guess that's what you're talking about. It hides the layer lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier to print with that thicker skin and stuff, but because you're basically replacing the thickness with just honeycomb on the inside, it's really light.
And then I guess if you had a mishap with it, you can just print the actual section.
You reprint a part. A lot of times it's a clean enough break. Like the plastic isn't just flying everywhere.
Right.
It just kind of cracks, so you can glue it back together with super glue.
No kidding.
Like the first flight with the LWPLA chipmunk, that size plane, the magnetic hatch just wasn't strong enough.
Oh, okay.
I've since redesigned it, but the first flight it flew off and split in half, and then a half of it got jammed into the horizontal stabilizer.
Critical failure.
Yeah, so it got stuck. There. You know how the chipmunk, part of the elevator is on the side of the stabilizer?
Right.
So it got stuck in that seam.
Oh.
But I was still able to, it kind of, had a delay to the elevator input, but I was able to get it on the ground.
Wow, that was lucky.
That's cool. It's actually kind of a good test to be like, hey, it's like a warbird to be able to take that many shots and get back down.
Yeah.
But, so one piece went way off in the desert and the other piece came down with the plane, obviously, but I was able to just glue it back together. And,
wow, that's amazing.
It actually hides the seams decent enough.
Yeah. Well, I have to bring up something that I was talking to Jay about last night because, this is our first time meeting face to face. We've been on the phone, I've been on the podcast, and we've watched your videos. And I told Jay after watching you fly, because you brought an RV-8 and some of your toys, and we were watching you fly last night, and I was like, wow, he's a really, really good pilot.
Thanks.
I told Jay, I was like, it was funny because in your mind, the videos that I've seen are of your first flying the Infinity Wing. So, but you have to understand, I'm watching, and you're out in El Paso by yourself, and I told Jay, I was like, your background is in 3D, and I really didn't put RC and 3D together. Mm-hmm. And so I watch these videos, and you're like, making fun of yourself, like crashing or jumping out of the way, and so from a skill level, that's all I saw, right? And so I was like, oh, he's building this, and this is a new adventure for him. Mm-hmm. Now that I've seen you fly a normal airplane, now I understand more about what those videos were.
Yeah.
And I told Jay last night, I was like, wow, how hard is it to take a design that nothing about, put it together, and then just hope for the best? Because you're trying to figure it all out. I go, so technically he was like testing something, and to be able to do what you did on the videos that looked like a beginner were actually an expert level, being able to hold the airplane, do what you did, even though the mishaps were happening, you were able to control it in such a way that a beginner would have just totally come apart. So I have so much more respect for your abilities, and it's amazing to watch you fly. So I really like watching you fly. It's great.
Yeah, the Infinity Wing was a little bit like, as I was developing it, just kind of, guessing as far as like where's the CG on this thing.
Right.
There's smarter ways to do it too.
Well, there's mathematical ways.
Yeah, there's software out there.
Right, exactly. Right.
But still, that's
right.
It's not atypical. But
it's
not an atypical plane.
Yeah. Do you read the manuals? I don't read the manuals.
So I've had a lot of comments on that YouTube video because it kind of blew up. That video went crazy.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were like, just make a chuck glider, and I was like, yeah, but then I wouldn't have had 480,000 views of people seeing me almost kill myself. That's what attracted me to seeing the failure.
This guy almost got killed with his own planes. Oh, wow.
Well, I told my wife that, nobody watches NASCAR to see the winner, right? They always watch, they come in there to see the crashes, see the big, that's the big thing,
And I didn't go into making that video with the end goal of like, hey, let's crash just to attract people.
Right.
But my goal with the videos is to at least have some sort of lesson at the end. You got to learn from your projects or your experiences. So, and
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And if you're not learning, that's usually bad things.
Yeah. So that's kind of one of our mottos, is just to never stop playing and never stop learning. So.
We love that. So, well, we are excited to have you here. We hope you're going to make this a regular thing. And man, we've had a lot of fun just kind of sitting and visiting with you.
Yeah, we did some night flying last night.
What'd you think of that?
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice to be able to do it outside of like the official night flying event. Just there's 4 or 5 of us out here. Nice night too, no wind.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then kind of picked up.
Yeah, because you had a couple of squirrely instances.
Squirrely landings there at the end, but
wind picked up and poof.
Look,
my glider lost 5 feet.
Yeah, the wind stops and it just pump.
What did you think of Jay's stealth game?
Jay's stealth game or your stealth game?
No.
Well, you were the one playing it.
He was only playing it.
You were the only one stealthing over my head.
I was playing.
Wait, there was the non-stealth buzz he did too. I mean, let's not forget about that.
That's true. When it's from behind my head, I still can't see it.
What I liked about it is that it was past. It was probably a good 2 seconds before he went, whoa!
Yeah, because it's like you heard it, the lights, and then it was like, oh,
well,
hey.
Yeah. That's pretty cool when you turn the lights off and just go dark for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, that game happened a year or two ago, I think, and Jay, we all have switches on it, turn the lights on and off, and Jay didn't have an airplane to fly. We were all out there flying. He ran down and was just hitting the switches. So stealth mode. And so then last year, I think we made a game out of it. We were trying all kinds of stuff. Who could stay off the longest?
Mike would try to chase me around. Yeah. He would turn it off and fly his plane around, and then he would like try to turn it on near me to like make me behave badly or whatever. which I might do. It's definitely something I might do.
So. Well, it's. The wind is just hellacious today, man. You can probably hear it in the microphones, but it's not normally like this.
Yeah.
And this is kind of
it's not normal, period. I mean, we normally have double the amount of people with COVID. So, I mean, it's still a pretty good turnout.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised how busy the bleachers were.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, we've seen it at 3 or 4 times that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's been cool. People have been just like standing. The bleachers are full. All of this area between the
is full with planes from the
can't
back
see
all the way up to the white line.
It's just everything is full.
Yeah, that's cool.
And when you have 90 pilots registered that are all trying to fly, I mean the event. There's been times where event nobody's had to wait to go fly. They just go fly.
Yeah.
But in the past, we've all had to line up. Yeah. And sometimes it's a 30-minute wait.
Yeah. That's what I figured. Yeah.
And sponsor-wise, we both sides, and then it goes, and then it usually goes around to the other side of the other parking lot over there.
That's cool.
So, but
I'll keep doing it. Yeah, I mean,
this is it's not too far for you. I mean, you're in El Paso,
it's not bad.
So
it's a nice drive through the desert, and
you get to come hang out with us.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's right. We keep them fed.
You guys, you've fed me twice already.
I know, right? Yeah, we had the big fajita dinner last night. It was good. So what did you think of the new demo? I mean, you got to participate with some of this stuff, and they get a lot of little kind of things in there.
Yeah, a lot of different stuff too, which is cool.
Yeah.
So the Smuggler's Run thing.
Oh yeah,
was
that's right.
Probably a highlight. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was. I actually lucked out. I got to participate in that.
Yeah, Mike was the pilot for the big smuggling Cessna.
Yeah, Big Mike has a Cessna. We talked to him yesterday about his little Cessna thing. And anyway, I grabbed Pat Gagnon, who's a really good pilot. He's got a bunch of jets.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, hey, man, we're going to do this Smuggler's Blues thing, where I'm going to fly the Cessna. I said, we thought it'd be really cool if you jumped in your jet and intercepted us as a smuggler. And so we got Shannon in on the gig, and so he kind of went down to the end and lined his plane up where he could just take off at the moment's notice, and I took off opposite the runway, just kind of right across it, and kept it low, and then Shannon basically was doing the narrating. Hey, we got this smuggler out there. We need to scramble the jets, and he took off. So it was pretty fun. And Mike has built this pod on the bottom that drops these little parachute guys.
Let's make it clear, Big Mike.
Big Mike, Big Mike. He's from California.
Yeah, there's 40 Mikes here.
So, everybody's Mike.
We're gonna have a Mike gaggle later.
So yeah, we told him we were smuggling humans, but he actually said we were smuggling dope. So I was like, okay, whatever. We're smuggling dope makers, whatever. Cartel members. So that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Well done. Good piloting.
So
no practice either, which I think is cool.
That was no practice. We just winged it right here.
Pre-fly.
Yeah.
But luckily he had Pat had the new motion. What is that? The MiG or I can't the F20. What do they call it? I can't even remember.
I don't know.
Having sweet ass.
What was the one he was flying? Do you have it out here?
Yeah, it's the camo colored one, which the new one from Motion, the SU-27.
SU-27.
SU-27. Yeah. And it has a really good high alpha.
Yeah.
So he can really slow it down. So I was like slowing that big Cessna as slow as I could get. I didn't put the flaps out, or I really could have slowed down. But I was cruising along, and he was slowed up behind me, just kind of following me. So that was kind of cool. But
his landing was cool, actually. He just it looked like he was going to go around, and all of a sudden he just turned it into the wind and went high alpha, and
then plopped it on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily the Cessna's got big enough control surfaces that it's not really a big wind.
You just came in right down the runway.
He did mention the fact that I kind of plopped it in, and I go, well, that was my smuggler's landing. I was trying to get on the ground really fast. He's like, oh, because normally that Cessna just it goes on like butter, and Mike was like, oh, you kind of plopped it on there. Well, trying to play the game, so whatever.
Yeah, way to talk yourself out of it there.
Yeah. So let's see. During the noon demo, that's my excuse. And I'm sticking. To the story. During the noon demo, we had the combat guys as well.
Yeah. So one of the guys you said was a pilot for Motion RC.
Victor. Yeah, Victor's he's a test pilot.
Okay.
Or he's one of their demo pilots.
Gotcha.
I think, there. But he lives here, and he's been with the Motion team, at least on our side.
Mm-hmm.
I think he does some stuff in California.
That's cool.
And he's got a bunch of Motion products, and I don't know if they're. I mean, I don't know where he is in that whole. A lot of those pilots move from one to the next. So the last year he was with the Motion team. So I'm not sure if he's still there. I haven't talked to him today. I've seen him a couple of times, waved at him, but they did this little combat thing, and they had a big square box looking pizza box.
I'm not sure who was piloting
that. And it's still
no one's piloting it anymore.
But just to let you know, while we were listening to Eric talking, he walked right over, and it's sitting right there. He did find
You found that?
That was far.
It was far.
What do you have, a car, jetpack, or what?
I don't know, but he walked in. He's sitting over here. And
he had a good beeline on it, I guess.
You guys need to get him on the show.
Yeah, right? Find out how he... Yeah, just to find out
How did you find that?
I had a spotter in the mountain up there.
30-minute story where he had to get a Sherpa.
Yeah, really? I packed my pack.
We didn't realize camels were used in this area.
No, actually, he just it was weird. Well, we were having a conversation, and I walked out. I was just like, holy smokes. He
probably would have taken him less time to just go buy a pizza box.
Yeah, that's true.
Make a new one.
But that was pretty exciting. Not as many people as we had in the past, but it was pretty good.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah. And we did have a winner. He stayed up the longest. And we did have a couple of mid-airs, but they both kind of stayed together, and that was good news.
Cool.
Too, so.
Hey, so are you going to fly the Chipmunk while you're here?
I think so. I might wait till tomorrow, or if the wind dies down in the late afternoon, I'll fly it for
cool.
sure.
Yeah, we're excited
I've
about
got
that.
batteries charged up and everything.
Excellent, man. We're
Can't wait to see that.
I'll be here tomorrow, too, so probably first thing in the morning
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Knock on the door if we're not out here.
Yeah.
We definitely want to see
that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, no, I mean, I definitely want to see it. I'll come out whatever I'm wearing.
Yeah,
nice. Man, that was a bad visual.
Wait. I wear long johns and
true.
multiple layers in your place because you guys like it cooler.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, man.
Okay.
This is a family-friendly show.
It was.
It still is.
There we go. You guys going out with a micro.
Yeah, this ought to be fun. Normally,
it's a Delta. It should be all right.
Yeah, normally on the noon demo we have a UMX gaggle.
Yeah,
and that is
cancel that.
Yeah, we did because of the wind. But I think last year we had, what did he say, 37
of those
37 of those little things, and it was the only midair of the entire weekend.
The micro ones,
the micro ones, they smacked into each other. They started laughing. They picked them up, threw them right back in the air, and still kept flying.
Yeah, they're so light. They don't really
it didn't even damage anything. But it was funny because we're like, man, there's 37 of these things that look like a beehive out there.
Were they able to like keep track of them?
Oh yeah. I mean,
there was enough different planes. There was only like a couple of, like, say, a couple of Trojans and a couple of
A10s.
Whatever. Yeah.
But, have you ever done a gaggle like that where there's?
I never have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we do them every year, and this year I didn't because I was doing the smugglers thing. But I have an L39, and we normally do an L39 or an A10 gaggle. Mm-hmm. And last year I think there were probably 13 L39s on the air once.
It was cool,
and it was awesome. Really cool. And mine is custom painted, so it's easy to keep track of. And the two other guys I was with, and we all linked up and flew formation.
Nice.
So we were flying formation through these, all these guys. So. But it is sometimes very difficult. If you've got the same painted and you're all kind of doing the same thing, it's Jay has had that problem before when we were flying the wing.
Like all the bind and fly stuff out there, everything's identical.
Yeah, it is identical. Yeah. So unless you can mark it,
paint your own,
right?
Or you're paying close attention as you approach another 20.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is kind of cool. I can't remember. That's a little.
Is that the one that VTOLs or
no? It looks like it does.
It looks like it, but it isn't.
It's got the two motors up front though that go to get it to go left and right. It just
differential thrust.
That's it. Sorry,
beat you to it.
I'm having that
jinx.
brain hemorrhaging.
Yeah,
December was
jinx
rough,
on a chipmunk.
That's right. Squirrel. That's funny. Well, we know that you're trying to get as much business as you can out of here, so we're going to let you go. And
always have time for you guys.
So, real quick though,
now
that you're out here, you've flown some stuff. You got any ideas come up? You have anything else?
Planes?
Yeah, of course. I know your mind's always moving, tapping and popping.
So I have an idea for a plane, and I think the one I'm going to do it with is. Do you remember the Stinger that Lanier, a company called Lanier, used to make a plane called a Stinger?
Stinger.
It's a mid-wing.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Real thick airfoil, like a. Have you ever seen the Uproar?
Yep.
The Tower, similar.
Yeah.
But I want to try to make a 3D printable plane that people can scale to different sizes and still have it print out okay.
Right.
So, like, I would offer it in a 50-inch wingspan, for example, and say, hey, you can scale it by this percentage, either up or down. And here's the other hardware set for the larger or smaller.
That's a good
plane.
idea.
So the same file set could be printed in multiple size aircraft.
That's a good idea.
So if I can figure that out engineering wise, then I think that would be kind of cool.
Very cool.
And that's a really good, really fun like sport plane that's got a cool look to it.
Yeah, that does.
So if you look up the Lanier Stinger.
Yeah. Okay.
So they made it in all different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
They had a giant one even that was like 100-inch wingspan. But
kind of like the Telemaster,
right.
Telemaster, Senior, Junior,
Micro,
yeah.
I'd like to do a 4-engine bomber to do another scale plane.
Now that would be cool.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
I'm a big B-17 fan. But
there you go.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
the sky's the limit, which is kind of cool. I mean, I have a list of planes that I want to do. But.
Well, we'll reach out to our listeners. If you have an idea for 3D printed, you can go to 3daeroVentures.com. Send there. Wow, man, this wind is kicking up. Send them an email at 3daeroVentures.com.
Yeah, 3daeroVentures.com. You can go. There's a contact page that goes straight to my email if you submit something. Or
perfect.
Eric at 3daeroVentures.com is my direct email.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get back undercover here. It feels like we're going to win.
Just hold on. You can make it.
Right? It's like a hurricane here.
I got you, Jay.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you again.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
Man,
Thanks
we're
for
going to
all
go out
your
and have some fun.
hospitality.
Not a problem at all. We enjoy having you. So, all right, we'll be right back.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please give our show a star rating and review, and feel free to email us your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com.